this picture is that of myself, my wife, and my child. Okay, and it's very important for us to, in this period of time, to remember our families, to kind of be with our families fully. You know, it's we are used to multitasking, but it's important for us at this stage of life to single task. Multitask doesn't give the feel. You know, I personally am a very busy person. I teach in an IB school, so the expectations of teaching are really high. And at the same time, right now, I have my own YouTube channel, and I post at present. I'm trying to post once in 2 weeks, and it's quite strenuous. And then on top of that, I'm also doing my master's in education. So there's a lot of work, but the one thing that matters is that with your family, it's not about how much time you spend. It's about the quality of the time that you spend. Nobody expects you to leave your entire life and spend. The problem is that we always prioritize quantity as compared to quality. For example, when I'm with my child, I'm completely fully with my child. I laugh, I play, I do so much with my child, and that is very important. So remember, when you're talking about general family behavior, try to improve the quality. The quantity is not that important if you've got the quality. If you don't have the quality, then the quantity matters. But if you have the quality, then the quantity, you don't have to pitch in a lot of quantity. Okay. So, all right. So my objectives for this talk, first of all, hope in coronavirus time. So it's very important to be hopeful these days. That's why these novenas are a very special time for all of us. Opportunities, to point out opportunities that we have very specially because of these coronavirus times. Okay. Challenges, to challenge you. Family life, I mean, I'm a young family person. You know, I've got married for the last 5 years, and my child is 1.5 years old. And the challenges are galore. Nobody, when you get married, nobody gives you a manual for marriage. Nobody gives you a manual for children. And yet you have them, and yet you have to figure it out all by yourself. So family life is really tough. So I'm going to put some more challenges and I'm going to tell you how to address them. So practical steps that can help you to develop empathy in your family. So the current situation at home, first of all, our situation is basically at home. It's not going out, it's at home. There's no rest. If you've got a family, your children are at home, your wife is at home also working at the same time. It's tough. It's very tough. Children are interrupting your work. At the same time, you are expected to take care of your child while you are at work. So it's like no rest for parents. There's a lot of anxiety. Now I'll talk about this word anxiety at a later stage. We work from home. There is school from home. So we are always concerned about, how are our children managing, how are our children managing their education from home? Are they able to understand things? Do we have sufficient devices? Is our internet speed fast? Confusion amongst the younger children. So I have a YouTube channel, Letters and Conversations. And one of the videos that I have, and I highly recommend this channel, because one of the videos that I have is basically, what do you tell your younger children? The younger children, I mean, from the age of 4 to 12. That is the stage they can't quite understand why we are holed up at home. And rationale and reasons can't really appeal to them. They need something. And I've created a video precisely for that. You just pick up the video and you can actually show it to your kids, and it is filled with hope. It is filled with reality at the same time, because we can't bluff our kids. Our kids are very clever. If we tell them a rosy picture, then why are we sitting at home, right? So our kids are damn clever, and if we try to fool them, they won't get fooled. Okay, we are mostly online. Okay, and we've got terrible screen time equations. Okay, opportunities. So this very situation gives us plenty of opportunities. Okay, we've got time with family, we've got time with ourselves, we've got time to work with strained relationships. In fact, the very fact that we are together, if a husband and wife are having tough times in the relationship, this is actually the best time to deal with it, because like normally when you deal with the tougher problems in life, you kind of you kind of have this opportunity to run away. You go and you have a drink, or you go and you leave the house. But here you have to sit and deal with the issue. So that's a beautiful time to work with strained relationships. And talking about relationships with children, relationships with your spouse, relationships with your brothers and sisters. So it's a wonderful time to work on strained relationships. It's a great time to display empathy, and we'll be talking about that. It's a great time to practice compartmentalize. You see, a lot of things I do simultaneously in my day, and yet I always find time for more, and for the things that matter to me. Why? Because I practice compartmentalization. Compartmentalization is telling yourself that this particular slot of time is for this purpose and for nothing else, and you be honest and sure to be doing that only. No multitasking, only that focus. Okay, practice better distribution. It's a great time to practice better distribution of home building responsibilities, which means it's nature has it that very often we put the child rearing and home building responsibilities on the woman. It is a great responsibility at this point of time that husbands start taking up the ownership of their children, their ownership of their house. And it does not, very often we think that it decreases the dignity of a man. It doesn't. It just enhances your relationship with your spouse and with your children. Your children will really look up to you for that. It's a great time to strategize for this situation. I would believe like it's a great time after coronavirus. What happens? What is our life going to be after corona? It's a great time to pause and think about our life after coronavirus. Can we have a sustainable long-term balance that drives inner joy? Okay. So another opportunity, introspection. So this particular scenario, which has a lot of anxiety, automatically breeds itself into introspection, where people question everything about themselves. They question themselves. They question their decisions personally and as a family. They question the social dictates. What does the society tell them? Is that meaningful? What society is telling them? Should it be just discarded? It's important. They question social dictates. They question their faith. Is my faith strong? Is my faith not strong? What is the point of faith? They question all these things. They question their family ties. Is this particular relationship with my family, with this person, meaningful for me? Is it making me a better person? They question their work-life balance. Am I working too much? Am I having enough time for my children? They question priorities. Where are my priorities? Am I spending my free time on Netflix instead of spending my free time on the people that matter to me nearest and closest? Okay, so this is a very important thing. No matter which article you read about the effects of coronavirus, this term anxiety will always be there. So what is anxiety? Anxiety, first of all, is a health issue. It's not something that you put upon yourself. It's something that is because of a situation. Okay, it's not that nothing can be dealt with, but it is something that is there as a health issue, not something that you are drawing upon yourself. It is a feeling of fear or apprehension of what is going to come. We don't know what's going to come. We don't know when this is going to end. We don't know when work is going to start. We don't know any of these things, and that makes us for the first time very, very uncomfortable deep within. We always want security. There are many people who stay for years on a job even though they are not happy, because they are insecure about whether if they leave their job they'll get another one. So insecure, that insecurity is always there, and here you have a situation where everybody is scared, we are apprehensive, we don't know, we can't say anything for sure about anything. We can't say anything about our jobs, we can't say anything about our own health, about our family's health, we can't say anything. Okay, and basically the problem is we have no control of these situations. They are external and they're falling upon us, and we don't know what to do. So there is an antidote to this whole scenario. The antidote is creating control in each of these issues. How do we address, first of all, this mental health issue? Are we addressing it? Okay, so I'll be talking about that. Secondly, this feeling of fear, of anxiety. If we lack control, there are also some things that we can control. Are we controlling the things that we can control? Okay, so that's the antidote to anxiety. Empathy. Okay, empathy, actually empathy should come very naturally to us at this time. I'll tell you why. What is empathy? Empathy is to understand or feel what the other person is experiencing, not just by your vision of him, but from their frame of reference. That means you are entering into the other person and you are seeing the world through his or her eyes. This is what empathy is, and to be able to understand what they are experiencing. Okay, now it's the easiest and it should come very naturally to us, because in this scenario we are all having the same fears, and therefore it should come very naturally to all of us. And your family is your immediate society. When you think about helping others and so on, right now your family is your immediate society. You're not allowed to go out, you're not comfortable going out, you're not sure about how safe it is going out, but your family is your immediate service. That is the way God wants you to reach out to the society. Your family is the basic unit of society. Role of the family in this whole system. Okay, first of all, it's a shelter from the storm. No matter what happens, your family is a constant. It is a feedback mechanism. Your family is often the most blunt, part of your entire world. People may try to please you, people may try to deceive you. Your family is always blunt and telling you the truth about yourself and about the way you appear to the self. It may not tell you about what your intentions are, but they definitely will tell you how you come across to others. Your family is your focus of your service. Your service, entire thing, the Bible tells you about service. Today, very important, your family should be your primary focus. And family is also a body from which you can help other families. Each family should connect with other families, and I'll talk about that. Majorly, where do we see this? We see this in terms of old people in our buildings. They know that, and old people who are not staying with their children and so on, we know that they need to go out for food and so on. We also know that it's extremely unsafe for them. Can we in any way, when we are going out, can we just give them a call and say, I am going so and so, can I buy something for you? Can we make it a point to help them out a little bit? Maybe instead of going 10 times out in a week, maybe they are going 6 times out in a week, just because 2 or 3 other families are helping them with this. All right. Developing empathy in families. So how do we develop empathy with our families? Okay. Firstly, develop routines with regards to family sharing once a day. Very important. Once a day, whatever it is, I recommend 15 minutes or half an hour. Family sharing once a day. What did you do today? How was your day? What were the special times that you had? How was school? Did you find it difficult? Was the internet good? What did you chat? Did your teachers tell you anything? How was your time of work? Are you stressed out about work? What are the expectations of work? How can we as parents make your job easier? Uh, how is your health doing? You've got a fever. How is it now? All these things. Okay, share. Use time to share. I suggest you can also use food time, by the way, to share, because we are always in general in a family we eat food together. You can also use that time. Do not I mean, I am a very big this thing of, do not watch TV or use your phone while eating. Use that time to develop a family routine. Remember, you will always eat your food. Okay, so that time is always there, and therefore you can always have family sharing at that time. Okay, this is a suggested thing. All right, spend time talking to your children and other family members, and I'll talk about how we can get that as a routine. Make sure that each of you is spending some time talking to everybody at home individually. I'm not talking as a group. This is individually. Are you going to your mom and talking with her? Are you going to your child and talking on a personal level with her? So, which means about 5 minutes the mother talks with the child, 5 minutes the father talks with the child. So the child gets 10 minutes or 15 minutes of time where they are. And remember, no multitasking. Multitasking does not count. If your earphones are in your ears, that's not counted. If you're doing something else, if the TV is on and you're interacting, that's not counted. Single tasking, not multitasking. Play with your children. I am a big advocate of getting laughs. Stronger families laugh together. Yes, they pray together, but they laugh together. If you can't develop fun times with your family, then family life is going to be drab. You will have 5 people individualistic doing their own business, but you won't have a family. Family is a place where you feel most comfortable to be yourself. So you must laugh with each other. So develop situations in which you laugh. Watch a comedy movie. Tell a joke. Share possibly a WhatsApp forward comedy video that you comedy picture or a joke or something that you saw. Share. Play with your children and laugh with them. Inquire about the things that matter to each person at home. So everybody, you'll see they love different things. They different things matter to them differently. Talk to them about that. Understand rather than comment. It's not, you need to stop commenting. We have this very troll culture, and some families have it much more than others, where, we make, we have fun at the cost of others. We should not troll our family members. Okay, so long a person is having a tough time, it may be funny, but it may not be funny for that person. It may be funny from an exterior. Remember, you are their last support. If they get support from no one else in the world, they must have their support from their family. Okay, so therefore understand where they're coming from, rather than just commenting and make comments, silly comments or humorous comments about them. Not that they're less humorous, but they're not less, they're not sensitive. Okay, decide on a technology cutoff time. I suggest about 1 hour before, you just put your phone. Most phones today take about 2 hours for charging. Okay, and it's not good to overcharge your phone. So I suggest that 2 hours before you go to sleep, you put your phone on charging, and maybe 2 hours or maybe 1 hour, your phone will charge to 80 or 90% or even 100%. And then when you're going to sleep, you remove it off the charger, and then you go to sleep. And when you get up, your phone will be like 95% or 90%, almost that. So while you're having breakfast or whatever, you put it back on charging. So decide on a technology cutoff time. At this particular time, there will be no phones. Okay. And this also, the reason you need technology cutoff time is because then that particular time that you save can be focused on people rather than on your device and on yourself. Okay. Help people to remain healthy in your family, physically and mentally. So, ensure that they're having their regular medicines, ensure that they're sleeping on time, ensure that they're exercising. At least 15 minutes of rigorous exercise is needed for everybody. Okay, rigorous exercise. I'm not talking about a walk. I'm talking about something rigorous. Okay, maybe it is skipping, maybe it is climbing the stairs, something rigorous. uh, if you have a heart problem, maybe that is the only condition where you must not do that, but in general rigorous exercise and 15 minutes of rigorous exercise is more than enough for you to keep healthy. Reading, are you doing meaningful reading? 15 minutes of reading every day, maybe it's an article on the this thing, on the newspapers. Please make sure that you are not watching news for more than 2 hours in the day. Which means if you are watching at different times, you make sure that the total is not more than 2 hours. Why? Because at present and in general, news only talks about what people like, not about necessarily what the reality is. And what people like is drama. Our news channels have become more entertainment rather than information. Their purpose is no longer information, and therefore you have to shelter yourself from that kind of negativity that comes from that. Okay, and one way to do it is ensure that no more news more than 2 hours. One special thing is if you have children in that bracket, the four ages 4 to 12, try to reduce news as much as possible, because trust me, the sound, the anchors screaming, and that evocative voice is actually very disturbing to these people, to children of that age, mentally, directly. It's at a subconscious level that it's very disturbing. It's just like when two parents fight, the children don't know what the fight is, but they're scared. That's the same thing that happens. It evokes that kind of emotion. So please be very wary about news. Water intake. Are you having sufficient water? 2 liters of water per day is the minimum that you must drink, unless you have some health problem that does not allow you to do that. But 2 liters of water is an absolute must. On screen time. Make sure your on screen time is minimal. Especially I'm talking about your non-work on screen time. You don't have an option about how much of work on screen time you have, but your non-work on screen time should be reduced minimally. Okay, so this is one thing that I think I will share with Wilfred. I have created a free kind of a checklist that encompasses, it's over here, it's just 1 to 9. I have up till 1 to 31 for all the months that are possible. Okay, and all you need to do is take a printout of this and put it up on your fridge or something like that. Each person in your home comes each day and tick marks what is relevant to it. So for example, let us say there are 4 people in your house. In each of these boxes, okay, so the first person will come over there and will say, okay, did I sleep for 6 hours today? Tick mark. Did I drink water? Tick mark. Did I have rigorous exercise? Tick mark. Did I read 15 minutes? Tick mark. Did I watch news for not more than 2 hours? Tick mark. Did I do I have a non-work work screen time for less than 2 hours in the entire day? Tick mark, and so on. Okay, if you have more than 4 people, if you have more than 1 person at home, you can use different colored sketch pens. So you'll have in each box, you should have tick marks for each of your persons. So you'll see, for example, that 1 person at your home is not doing a particular thing. So encourage them therefore to do it. And then if you're doing it on a regular basis, you'll see automatically a habit for well-being that is happening. And this habit is not just, all these things are not just for the coronavirus times. It is good for your life. So as you are developing in this, let this coronavirus be a boot camp, something that you, a rigorous practice, so that when you come out of the coronavirus situation, it becomes habit. Health is a habit. and taking care of your own health will be a habit for you. Okay, so I will share with Wilfred. In fact, if possible, I can, after this session, if you do have some more time, I can stay on the call and I can put it on the chat where you can download it as well. Whatever Wilfred tells me after this
Okay.
talk. Okay. Ban the word fine at home. So, how are you doing? How are you? Fine. This is the worst word that families can have. You should just ban it from your. It's the most useless word that you can have at these times. Why? Because it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing at these times. Fine is the word that is used to run away. Fine is a word that is used to evade the topic. Fine is a word that is used to mask your actual emotions and what you actually feel about something. Fine is a word that we should ban in our vocabularies in general. Say what you do. Jesus Christ says, don't take oaths and all that. Just say what you want to say. Don't take oaths on this person and that person and so on. Just say what you want to say. Be honest with yourself, be truthful and be frank. Okay, so fine is some word as a family that we should ban in our vocabulary. Never respond to how are you feeling, how are you with fine, because it's the most misleading word in the English dictionary. Okay, so the objectives, hope in coronavirus times, opportunities, challenges, practical steps that you can develop, empathy. So thank you for giving me your time, and your time, as I said, was your greatest and most valuable opportunity that we have during this time. Okay, so when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So when coronavirus comes, you try to fix your life in whatever way you have, because you have that marvelous, beautiful thing of time that you have much more than otherwise. And that automatically moves you to self-reflection, and that automatically moves you to be a better person. Okay, and do know that coronavirus will pass. Okay, so be happy that coronavirus will surely pass. 100% it will pass, and you will be safe and you'll be fine. All right, like all things in life, this too will pass.